According to DHS in the statement that they put out, it says that the agents entered because they were told protesters were in your office and that they were concerned for the safety of your staff. When they arrived, the quote from DHS is, one individual became verbally confrontational and the person was detained so the officers could conduct their check and then were released. What is your view of what happened?
Well, my view of what happened is outrageous. My first concern was for the safety of my staff member, and I didn't say anything. I decided to speak out after the DHS released their misleading and frankly lying story about what happened. DHS was upset that some of my staff members were watching them grab immigrants emerging from an immigration court in the same building, a floor below. And they were upset that invited some of the observers up to my office. They then came up to the office and demanded entrance. One of my staff members said, "You can't come in here, you need a warrant." They said, "No, we don't need a warrant," which is incorrect. And they barged in, and in barging in, one of the officers, a very big, heavy-set fellow, pushed my aide, a very petite young woman, and they then said that she pushed back, and they shackled her and took her downstairs. And she was obviously traumatized. Now, the fact is that this was totally unacceptable. The tactics were totally unacceptable, and they needed a warrant. And my office is a congressional office. It's a completely separate branch of government, a co-equal branch of government with the executive for which they work. And they had no right to come in. They had no right to disregard the co-equal branch of government, which is to say, Congress. So I am I'm asking for an investigation. I'm communicating with Jim Jordan, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, demanding an investigation of this incident, of ICE tactics, which are frankly very threatening to
Congressman, have you reached out to the secretary? I mean, as you know, the ranking member in Judiciary, one of the senior member in the House, you have access to reaching out to the Department of Homeland Security in ways that an average individual does not. Have you reached out to the secretary? Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything back?
No, I have not reached out yet. The young woman was after I showed up on the scene and spoke to the DHS people. They then unshackled her and let her go. So I felt no need to talk to the secretary. Now I do feel a need to have a congressional investigation, and that's why I'm asking Jim Jordan to hold an investigation, a hearing, a committee hearing, and to that committee hearing, I assume we'll invite the secretary.